I'm live. I just left out the club with the gang and a high yellow bitch that's real thick in the thighs. You know me, I be shooting my shot. When I got the little bitch, I wasn't even surprised. In the club, looked her deep in the eyes, said you coming with me, if you with it, let's ride. Got a text when you coming inside out the liquor, didn't know what to say, so.
What up, though? What's cracking, Scorpio? I hope that all of my beautiful and my handsome Scorpios out there are doing well. All right, y'all, so let's get into it. Let's see what it is that you need to know. If anything resonates for you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let your girl Blue Flame know what's going on. If you are interested in a personal, my email will be in the description box below. All right, so I'm just sitting here looking at these cards before I'm getting ready to start, and I noticed the first thing is 1010. So this can be a synchronicity that you see quite often, all right? Or this gives me the energy of closing out a cycle because the first card we have is the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Okay, the Wheel of Fortune in reverse talks about bad luck, lots of delays, things like everything falling apart. Like someone here can be feeling like they've been experiencing a lot of bad luck for quite some time. Ain't nothing in their life went right. Every time they make some plans, something get canceled, something happen, like life always throwing them some type of curveball. And it's like they don't understand why. Now with this 10 of Wands, this could have been someone who worked very hard, but it was like there was a burden. This could have been someone who maybe worked for the post office, but I really feel like they were just a hard worker. But it was like they never were able to get ahead. Like they were always experiencing setbacks. But with this 10-10, it gives me the energy like someone here was supposed to be releasing some type of hard burden. Like they were overworked, they were overwhelmed, they were stressed out, they always was on edge. This could have been someone who suffered from addictions because it was like everything in their life was going so wrong. Like they didn't understand, like I'm doing this, I'm doing XYZ, like why is my life like this, okay? But the overall lesson, because the only card that came out upright on this top row was self-love. I really feel like this is someone like their whole lesson was to learn how to pour into themselves. So it's like they could have been someone like people always leaned towards them for advice. If they needed something, they're the first person that they call. Y'all know how it is when people heavily depend on you and it's like and everything go wrong in their life, they always calling you. Call T, call D. She always know what to do. He always know what to do. Like, and that's okay to a certain effect to where people start draining you. Like, especially they ain't even appreciative of whatever it is that you're helping them be, you know what I'm saying? Or you're helping them out. So it's like you start to absorb everybody's issues and problems. Like everybody's issues and problems are not meant to be your problems here. But because you kind of liked being in that energy or carrying on that burden, because at first it could have been cool that people came to you. It made you feel some type of way, it made you feel good. But after a while, it started to become a burden here, okay? So whoever this situation was based on self-love. All Spirit wanted this person to do was love themselves, and they would see what people would manipulate them and take advantage of them because I feel like they were a good person. They're like, this is someone who wasn't bad. They just didn't love themselves enough to know when they were being used, okay? This is giving me like divine though. So this could have been like a divine counterpart here that was going through this, and the biggest lesson they had to learn was self-love. But we have protection. So this gives me like the energy of a fallen angel, like someone who didn't do what Spirit told them to do. Like maybe Spirit directed them, like you need to focus on self-love, like gave them steps or, told them what to do, but they still refused to do it. They wanted to keep giving and pouring into everybody else and not focusing on themselves. So there's a particular cycle here that someone here needed to close out. And I feel like their karma and why they feel like, they experience a lot of bad luck and their life is out of control, they're very unlucky, it's because they failed to learn the lesson. They failed to do what Spirit told them to do. Now, this could have been someone who was the boss because the boss card and the King of Pentacles came out right here together. Okay, so this could have been someone who might have been like a CEO. Maybe they had their own business or something, but it's like they could have been very materialistic. I'm going to show you these cards upright. You know, ain't nothing wrong with enjoying the fruits of your labor. You worked hard, get your little bottle of wine, you know, turn up, celebrate. But this is what this person, like, they want to turn up and celebrate all the damn time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they forgot to put in their hard work, or they started to treat people differently because they made a little money. They came up just a little bit here. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like this is also this person's karma. Like, they chose wealth and status over loving themselves, because if you don't truly love yourself, you're not going to connect, you're not going to be with people or surround yourself around people that truly love you either. You know, so this could have been someone who got taken advantage of. You know, they were easily manipulated with money. Like, they could have liked to been their little sugar daddy. You know, somebody who don't mind giving the ladies money and doing this and doing that because they made them feel some type of way. You know what I'm saying? But this person definitely has some poor money management skills. They was always getting scammed. You know, this person like to show off their money. So whenever they go somewhere, they gotta put out stats like, shit, I got this, I got that. You know, like, they like to draw attention to themselves, okay? But I feel like whatever this situation was, I feel like you've moved forward. Like, you got clarity. Like, maybe you could have got sucked up in this person's world at one point in time, but you received some type of clarity here about this person and this situation and what you needed to do. Okay, Spirit could have told you, okay, well, we need you to cleanse yourself, Scorpio. We need you to work on yourself, really pour into yourself, put your wants and needs before everyone else's, because you always tend to put everybody else's wants and needs. You kind of tend to be a people pleaser and do things that everybody else wants, but we need you to take time on focusing on yourself. And you was like, all right. And you did that, you know. And once you start to really focus on yourself, you start to see the world, you start to see people differently here, you know. And you start to realize, like, shit, if you don't look out for you, baby, who will? You know? So I feel like now you start to walk within your purpose. You have direction here. You're moving forward with your life, but you have that little light up under your fire. You know, now you have that willpower and determination to be able to achieve and have the things that you wanted to do. So I feel like the lesson for both of you guys was to learn how to love yourself. You know, you could have went through some similar experiences that this person did, but once you start to focus on self-love, your life started to change. And you start to face your north node. You start to work and face your divine purpose here, okay? So let's pull just a little bit. Let's see what's going on. Let me go here. So let's see what's going on with this particular person. Because somebody here is experiencing a lot of disappointments. All right, there can be a lot of disappointments in their life. Every time they turn around, like I said, nothing seems to go their way. So let's see what was going on and why this person chose not to focus on self-love. Because all they had to do was just put themselves first, you know? But there were some reasons why they chose or felt like they didn't need to work on loving themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was fine how, you know, I feel like this is someone who really didn't know their worth either, you know? So tell us more about this person. Why are they experiencing this energy? All right, release this situation so it comes back to you. So some of you still could be holding on to this person in this situation, but it's like that boomerang. You know, you throw a boomerang out, it's supposed to come back to you. So if you're still holding on to this situation, how is it going to come back around? So for some of you, it's kind of like, I'm really picking up, this can be your divine counterpart, especially with this chess piece. All right, this yin and yang, you see the black and the white knights or horse or whatever you want to call it. So I really feel like this could be like divine counterparts. So it's kind of like if you're struggling on your journey with self-love, because both of you guys could be struggling right now with loving yourself. And it's kind of like being in the divine feminine energy, you kind of lead the path. So if you're struggling, of course, your twin is going to struggle as well. So I feel like you have to focus on loving yourself so this person can release, you know, or they can work on loving themselves as well. It's like if you're struggling, they're going to struggle even more. Okay, so we got prosperous. All right, so this is someone who misses talking to you, okay? So even though they're struggling with some things in their life, I feel like they do miss you. We have prosperous. So right now I feel like there's an overabundance of spiritual, but also material wealth. Okay, so this talks about financial gain, but this also talks about an overabundance of spiritual wealth. Okay, that means being in high rankings with the universe. You know what I'm saying? God favoring you, always putting you first, always making sure that you're going to receive the best outcomes or outcomes that's going to be toward your highest good. Like this is you being in favor. All right. So like I said, remember, you did your task. Your job here was to work on self-love, to focus on loving yourself, and this is what you did. You started to pour into yourself. It may have taken you a long time because for a lot of us, we're not used to doing that. But once you did, Spirit showed you some things, and you were able to move forward in your life. You weren't stuck. Yeah, you experienced your self-knowledge. You experienced some things in your life that made it feel you made you feel like the rug had been pulled from up under you. But the thing was, you continuously moved forward on your journey. And that's what it's all about. And that's why you're very prosperous. That's why you're going to receive an overabundance of not only material wealth, but also spiritual wealth, okay? Being very like the angels in the universe, baby, they don't play about you. And they're going to make sure, like, nothing harms you. Like, you always going to be good. You and your family and the ones that's protected under this situation, y'all going to be good, okay? So we have wise counsel. So this could be someone that's now seeking, I feel like, help. They're seeking help from trusted family member, friends, co-worker, people who they feel like are wise and hold a lot of knowledge and advice. Like, they're seeking the advice from other people because they miss you. So this is someone who is still struggling, I feel like, on their journey. But even though they struggle, they miss you too. You know what I'm saying? Because you move forward. And I don't know exactly what moving forward for everyone means, but you move on with your life here, okay? You're no longer stuck on this person or this situation. Look at this. You get into the money. I can't make this up. Some of you start focusing on your careers and your job. You got different job opportunities. Some of you, went to different career paths or chose different career paths, but you just been focused on your money here, okay? And this is someone that's unsure. They unsure where the future holds for you and them because they didn't take the time to work on themselves, okay? We got water, energy, and crown chakra. I feel like this is someone who often ran from their feelings and emotions. They weren't in tune with their feelings and emotions, okay? This is someone who is not connected to the divine, and that's why they've lost all protection here because they were not connected. They did not, I feel like, understand things on a deeper level like they were supposed to. Like they kind of shook that shit off. They didn't trust their path, their courage. They didn't have faith. And this is why they're struggling. This is the main reason why this person is struggling because they struggle with this water energy. And they can have water placements in their chart. This can be another water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces, or they have that like in their moon, or their rising or their Venus and Mars. They have it in their chart, but it's like they don't utilize it. Yeah, this person has to go through the dark night of the soul. They have to face those fears and those own wounds and traumas in order for them to be in this chariot energy, in order for them to move forward in their life and in this situation. So it's like right now, this person doesn't know what the future holds for you and them because they refuse to do the work. Like they're still stuck. I don't know if this person is running from this dark night, but this is what they have to go through. So it's like they're operating, you're in your north node, and they're facing their south node right now. They're stuck in the south node as energy of indecisiveness and not being able to do what they're told and confusion. They're stuck in this energy because they won't do the work. All right, we got Pisces, Heavy Virgo, and Sag. Who is this reading about for Scorpio? Gemini, Heavy Sag, Scorpio. Heavy Libra, Heavy Cancer. Capricorn, Libra, Sag, and Gemini. All right, you guys. I love you. And until next time, stay blessed.